oh yes, and well, go ahead and trust those wolves in fancy clothes. Let them tell you what you think you need to know. Some say you get what you pay for, others say you get what you need. But if you ain't got shit to stand for, then why the hell do you play? Some people say that you get what you deserve, others say you get what you get. But if it don't break your leg or pick your pocket, why judge a man on how he lives? So go ahead and turn on the morning news. Drink your coffee and eat your everything bagel too. Oh yes, and make sure you let them tell you who to hate today. It's gonna change tomorrow anyway. Some say you get what you pay for, others say you get what you need. But if you ain't got shit to stand for, then why the hell do you bleed? Some people say that you get what you deserve, others say you get what you get. But if it don't break your leg or pick your pocket, why judge a man on how he lives? You can have faith in God, but that don't mean a goddamn thing. You don't give a damn about one another. And I don't care much for religion, but I know you got to look out for our brothers and sisters. Some say you get what you pay for, and others say you get what you need. But if you ain't got shit to stand for, then why the hell do you bleed? Some people say that you get what you deserve, and others say you get what you get. But if it don't break your leg or pick your pocket, why judge a man on how he lives? So go ahead, turn on the evening news. Let them spoon feed lies to you.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Boozy News with Jonathan Fleissner and Albert Deleon. Albert, your camera's sideways, bro.
What?
Your camera's sideways. You gotta turn your shit.
All right.
There we go.
I thought,
There we go.
but I usually always have it sideways.
I don't know. It wasn't working right then. So, as
This works better.
yeah, this looks better. This is better. All right, you guys. Well, welcome to Booze and News. We were supposed to be.
Oh, Jonathan, I don't see you, bro.
You don't see me. Okay. Well, let me see what I can do about that. Give me a second. We had a bunch of technical issues, and we're still apparently having some. That's why we weren't able to come on yesterday. Let me see if I can fix this. All right. You don't see me.
I just see the Booze and News logo in the center.
What about now? Maybe there's just a delay. Still not seeing shit?
Yeah, I don't see nothing.
All right. Let me fuck with this for a second. All right. I turned that on. What about now?
No.
All right. Huh. But now.
No. Should I just call you back?
No. Don't do anything. I'm just going to try all these different cameras and see if you can see me. What about now?
No.
And what about now?
No.
Okay. Well, you may just not be able to see me tonight. I don't know what the fuck else to do. I tried every single one of the cameras. So yesterday, guys, we had to not go live because none of the cameras were working. All my shit got fucked up somehow. I'm going to try to restart the virtual camera. Any luck now, Albert?
No.
All right, let's see. Let me go into here, settings. So you have a Taco Bell. Tell everybody what you're having while I'm doing this boring ass shit and getting stuff ready.
I'm having the $5. Right now it's $5. The Grande Bell nachos, and anything Grande Bell I realize I like because of the combination of the sour cream and the chopped tomatoes. They even have a you can get their potatoes.
I don't know
like
what that means. What's Bel Grande? What does that mean?
I don't know.
But what does
Like
it do?
I don't know what it means.
What does it do that makes it any different?
It means I think it means sour cream and tomatoes or some shit. Because anytime you get something that says Bel Grande, there's sour cream and tomatoes on top of it.
Isn't that just Supreme?
That's
That's what they called it for years. So they just rebranded the same shit.
Well, okay. Well, you know what? You're right. That does just mean Supreme. I guess they don't like I guess they like Bel Grande more because it sounds more Mexican.
Oh yeah, it sounds so Mexican. Bell. Can you see me now? I changed the setting.
I don't see you, bro.
All right, well, you're just not going to be able to see me tonight. What the fuck with it next time? I don't know what the fuck else.
All right.
You're just going to have to... We'll be able to see you. But this is why... Yesterday we had so many camera issues. And could you see me earlier when we did our test?
Yep.
And you were driving?
Yep, I can see you.
That's hella weird. So, who knows? We'll fucking get it fixed next time. Thanks for joining the show, guys. Some people are tuning in. Clark asked about the unemployment ending. Yeah, we're about to get into that. So we're going to start the show. That is one of our first topics. But before we do that, it is beer review time, everybody. So you got your beer, Albert?
Shit. Hold on.
I'm going to get that shit so we can review this beer.
Let me go get it.
Go get it. And we'll do that to that. So this week, everybody, we're going to be reviewing a St. Arnold's beer, a local beer from Houston, the oldest microbrewery here in Houston. And look, it's all rainbow like my fucking keyboard. Hell yeah. So that's good. St. Arnold's. I actually worked for St. Arnold's for a little while. It was the first brewery I ever worked for, and it's the owner's super cool guy, Brock. Anyway, this is a seasonal beer that they've been doing the last couple years, award-winning, and it's a summer pils, 4.9 ABV, 22 IBU, really low IBU rating, so not very bitter whatsoever. This is going to be a nice little summer beer. Now I look at Untapped's rating for this beer, and it gets, we'll get into that in a minute. Let's try it first, and then I'll tell you what the rating is. So
let's try it out.
Let's try it out. Let's try this sucker out, Albert. I got a feeling,
I like it.
I got a gut feeling that you're going to like this beer a lot. Have you had this before?
Your gut's right. I like it.
Yeah, I knew you would like this one. This is a great beer, man, because this is like, it's not super strong, 4.9. You can drink a fuckload of these. It's good for summer. It's got nice malt. Really low IBU. I don't know what kind of hops they use for this. But it's just a little bit of hopping there, probably in the beginning of the boil and not too late into the boil. No extra hops, so
And
goodness.
you know what's funny about this is that it's award winning. It says on the bottle,
It's good.
and it says it's crisp and refreshing. Now, when you think about it,
Yeah.
and this was my argument about IPAs and shit.
There's like
When
no
it comes
head. There's
to
like no head to it though. That's one of my. That's like major complaint right off the bat. There's carbonation seems kind of low.
well, that may be a little bit true. But this just goes to show you, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being very like broad here, but I think it just goes to show you that at the end of the day, most people are always going to enjoy a crisp, light, refreshing beer.
Yeah, most Americans. I mean, a lager is probably the most popular American style beer, and a pilsner is just basically an ale equivalent of a lager. So it's about as similar as you can get. They make it at a little bit different temperature because of the yeast, and the timing's a little bit different. But a pilsner is very similar. It's about as close as you're going to get to a lager with an ale when you do it. So I like this a lot. Where are you going to rate this out of 10?
I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna rate it an 8.5.
8.5. I'm gonna agree with you on that. I'm gonna go 8.5, which is higher than the Untapped rating. It gets about a 7 out of 10 on Untapped. So I think this might be my favorite St. Arnold's beer. I don't know. I like the amber. That's an old school one that they've been doing for a long time. But this is probably my favorite seasonal by far that they do. It's damn good. I can drink a lot of these. Well, all right. Got some people tuning in. And that was our beer review for the day. We're going to get into the news portion of the day. The news portion of Booze and News. I did buy the beer. But that's not always the case. Albert bought the last IPA that we did. So, all right, let's get into the next topic. So the first topic of the day, breaking news, guys. Breaking news out of Texas. And that is that Greg Abbott is still a gigantic butthole I was going to say walking sphincter, but that would he's definitely not the first part of that. He's just a sphincter. What an asshole. So as we are going to discuss, as some people have already brought up, he ended the $300 unemployment plus up that the federal government is giving out regardless. So he's basically just saying, no, we don't want your government money, your federal money, and fucking over probably, I don't know, a million or a couple million Texans in the process who are still on unemployment. And this is very similar how when we got the chance in Texas to get money from the government, no penalty for health care, for Obamacare programs for poor people. Him and his buddy, that sociopath Ted Cruz, denied that money too. So, just a big fuck you to poor people, marginally people of color. He had a written statement, which I'm going to read. Let me see if I can pull this up on the matter.
Yeah, let's hear what this asshole has to say.
Oh yeah, this was his letter. He's so proud of himself. Let me pull it up. Okay. Let me read this. So it says, it's really small. All right. Austin Governor Greg Abbott today informed the U.S. Department of Labor that Texas will opt out of further federal unemployment compensation related to the COVID-19 pandemic effective June 26, 2021. This includes a $300 weekly unemployment supplement from the federal pandemic unemployment compensation program. The Texas economy is booming, and employers are hiring in communities throughout the state, said Governor Abbott. According to the Texas Workforce Commission, the number of job openings is almost identical to the number of Texans who are receiving unemployment benefits. The assessment does not include the voluminous jobs that typically are not listed. The construction and restaurant, like construction and restaurant jobs. In fact, there are nearly 60% more jobs enlisted in Texas today than there was in February 2020, the month before the pandemic hit Texas. And then there's a bunch of bullshit here about how much the jobs are paying. And all at this stage, the opening is at 100%. The focus must be on helping unemployed Texans connect with more than 1 million job openings, rather than paying unemployment benefits to remain on off the employment rolls. So basically, we know what the fuck this is. People aren't going back to work. They can say whatever the fuck they want to say. Nobody wants to go to those shitty jobs for that shitty pay. That are high-risk jobs.
Yep.
The majority of the people who are not vaccinated are primarily people of lower economic status, so poor people, and they don't have any protection from the goddamn coronavirus yet. Most of them are afraid to get the vaccine, or for whatever reason they haven't gotten it. And we're going to go into that into some detail, actually, in a minute. But they don't want to go work at a fucking restaurant bussing tables for sick people and getting COVID for shit pay. And that's just what it is.
Also, I've seen literally people on TikTok saying this. They're saying like, yeah, I have kids. I'm enjoying being able to stay home with my kids for, instead of going to some shithole job, getting paid nothing. Yeah, I'm going to stick on unemployment. People don't get how big of a deal this is for so many people. And if you don't get it, like someone like Clark, then you're just a piece of shit. You're just a piece of shit, and you don't understand that there are people out there that don't have college degrees, that are working 2-3 jobs or one shitty job. They got kids. They're single parents.
Well, you're right.
They're unemployment.
No, a lot of people.
They're unemployment.
Yeah, a lot of people.
They're unemployment.
A lot of people have the 2 or 3 jobs out, like you're saying, and they brag about it. That's what I was going to say. They brag about it. Keep going, but that's stupid. It's dumb to have 3 jobs. That's fucking dumb.
Wait, what do you mean? Who brags about what?
People do. They're like, oh, I work so hard. I've got 3 jobs. It's like, dude, that's stupid. Nobody should have to work fucking 3 jobs.
Oh, if anyone out there is bragging about having 3, first off, I've never heard anyone brag about having 3 jobs, so I don't know who you know. That's a fucking idiot. That much of an idiot. But
I hear that shit. Online, yeah.
If you're bragging about having 3 fucking jobs, you're a fucking psychopath.
Yeah. You
know people that brag about having multiple jobs, dude?
Yes, for sure. And I know I've had to do it.
Well, that's insanity.
And I know I've had to do it. When I was doing the food truck, I was also
but that's different. That's not the same thing though. You weren't happy about working multiple jobs.
No.
That's not the same thing.
When I started managing the theater, I didn't want to have to go work at other restaurants and shit too. I just wasn't making enough money at the beginning at the theater to work less than 1 job. You know what I mean?
Hey, just so Greg and people like him that think like the fucking governor here does. I was looking at jobs today. You know how much they pay employees at Old Navy?
How much?
8 something.
Yeah. So that's bullshit.
So basically, to a certain degree, you can say they're not paying them at all. Because with taxes, how much you think you're really getting paid to work at $1 million company like Old Navy?
No, it's complete.
$4?
It's complete horseshit. You can't. Why would anyone? And this is their stupid excuse. Well, if you don't like it, just pull your bootstraps up and get a better job. These are the jobs that people have with no degree, right? What are you gonna do? Pay $100,000 to go get a college degree, Albert? Who's gonna pay for that?
Even a kid, Clark. People like Clark. Listen, do you even think would you want your teen? Think about it for 1 second, dude. People like Clark, would you want your fucking kid, if you have kids, I don't know what your fucking situation is, but if you have a fucking teenager and they're going to go work at some shitty ass Old Navy place, would you want them making $4 an hour working for this huge company? It's not like they're working for their fucking grandma down the street mowing lawns. They're working for a fucking huge business.
And
they're paying them nothing.
Well, and there's no,
even if it's a kid with even if you don't have bills, it doesn't matter. That's still fucking disrespectful. It doesn't matter how old you are.
Well,
you shouldn't be paying people $8 to work at a huge company.
Yeah, you're right. Let me get in here.
That's insanity.
You're right.
Because those employees are carrying that business. They're carrying it. They go in there. They fold the clothes. They talk to the customers. They sell. They check people out. They clean the place. They do everything to maintain that business.
I agree,
but you can't give them fucking $8, which we know is more like $5.
Okay, let me talk for a minute. You're right, but this is the thing. I agree with you totally. If you look at how much money Old Navy nets, right, and they're consistently giving raises to their fucking CEOs and the high-end people of the company, they keep making more and more money all the time, right? But where's the pay for their fucking staff? It's shit. Like you said, it's $8.50 an hour. That's probably an improvement from where it was a couple years ago. And those are slave wages, man. Nobody can survive off that. You can't work 40 hours a week, as we know, and get paid $8.50 an hour and make it. You can't pay the rent. The rent's too goddamn high. You can't pay for food. Can't pay for gas. You can't pay to go to college to get a better fucking job.
But Jonathan, listen to me. Hold on a second. You didn't listen to what I'm saying. You're listing things that someone like Clark would say, well, they're not going to have to worry about that because they're kids. That's what I'm trying to say. Everything you're just listing, a kid doesn't have to worry about that. So Clark,
that's not true. That's
why it's a kid job.
Well, that's not true because if you look, majority of those people still got to pay for fucking would still theoretically have to pay for rent and shit. Now, what we do need to address in this
not if they're living at home.
Yes,
going to pay for it. We're talking about teenagers here.
Okay, but what's the average age of their fucking employment staff? Albert?
Look it up. It's kids. I've been to Old Navy. It's fucking kids. But my point to Clark,
it's not under 18. You're wrong. It's over 18. So here's the deal.
What's the average age of the employees at Old Navy?
It's over 18. I'm telling you. So hear me out. What I'm trying to say is that one thing that we are not acknowledging. They're saying the economy is booming. It's whatever. Right now, Albert, we hit where over half of people who are millennials are now living back home with their parents. Before the pandemic, it was at 49%. That's the number of people who were living at home with their parents or grandparents during the Great Depression. Okay? So we were already at that number before the pandemic. Now we've surpassed it. We've surpassed the numbers of the fucking Great Depression already. So it's not that, and the reason is because nobody can afford the fucking rent. It doesn't matter because the wages that these jobs are paying are not enough to actually go out and get a place and pay for the rent because the rent's too goddamn high. It's been inflated, and wages have not kept up with it. Wages have been stagnated, right, for the longest period in American history since we created the minimum wage in 1935.
I know. All I was saying is that there's going to be people that are going to say, well, that's why kids work there. That's what I was trying to tell you. And my argument was that even a kid who has no bills, no nothing, who's working at Old Navy, that's still a fucking
fuck you say
to the kids. It doesn't matter how old these people are.
It totally is. But what you're saying, you got to get out of the mindset of saying that these are just the kids. You don't know. Those kids could still
I'm just saying
those kids could still have bills.
No,
hell,
Jonathan,
those kids.
Jonathan, not listening to me.
No,
dude.
but Albert,
Jonathan, I'm saying that's what other people would say. I'm not saying that,
okay,
Jonathan.
I get you, but those kids, as you know, could have as many expenses. They could have kids of their own. They could have fucking health problems. They could have all kinds of issues. So they need to be making, just like anybody else who's an adult, enough money to have a standard of fucking living. So anyway, that's just the first dumb fucking thing that we're dealing with this week from this idiot. The second thing is that they passed, as you know, the fucking heartbeat bill or whatever in Texas. And typically, shit like this would go to the Supreme Court and just get shot down. But now, because of court packing, right, we have a Supreme Court that's completely fucking conservative, just about. And all of the state courts are all fucking packed. So they're already winding up to overturn Roe versus Wade. And the new bill says that at 6 weeks, if there's a detectable heartbeat or whatever, which there just is at 6 weeks or whatever, I guess, that you can't have an abortion. The major problem is that the statistics that I looked at say that most people don't even know they're fucking pregnant at 6 weeks. Did you know that?
I mean, I'm assuming that's correct. I don't know.
At that point, some people haven't even like missed a period yet, or it's unusual.
Right.
Like sometimes timing gets off a little bit. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
So-
really these are really scary times for Texas, and I would advise anybody that knows someone that voted for this fucking piece of shit to fucking bitch him out. You have a relative, bitch them let him hear it every single day, because I don't, my family aren't voters. My family are not political at all. I mean, they'll talk maybe a little bit about politics, but they're not the type of people that are going to go vote. They don't give a shit. They're fucking, they don't have any, fucking blood pumping through them enough to give a fuck. They're just kind of like whatever.
Well, it's crazy.
But,
I do.
And also I have a lot of cops on my mom's side of the family. I got a bunch of cops, so they're already working directly for the man, as we call it. So they're good. They're police officers. They're protected. They got all the shit they need, But everyone else, that's normal. And my mom works for the fucking oil company, so it just goes,
Right. Well, they're in for
this is a really fucked up time, man.
They're in for a world of hurt. But Albert, you also don't vote, so it's like your whole family doesn't fucking vote, man. All of you.
I don't vote. Well, the thing is,
and I'm actually.
I don't want to say I don't vote. I want to say I've never voted, and I'm probably gonna vote. I probably am gonna vote for the next Texas thing.
2020.
I think I'm definitely
there's local elections all the time. There was an important one that just happened, which sucks because no, we couldn't have done much about it because of the districting, and we weren't electing the representative, but there were some Texas congressmen that were on the ballot in that special election I was talking about. But yeah, 2022 is going to be a big election. I do think there's a chance that we could maybe get Ted Cruz out. Hopefully, we'll see. And Greg Abbott, we'll see. I mean, I think if Matthew McConaughey does run against him, he could actually potentially win. A lot of Texans really like him, even though he's a fucking idiot. And I really don't want him to be governor, but he's got to be better than Greg Abbott. So, let's see. What were we talking about? Depressions and all that shit. Yeah, anyway, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. A lot of these people aren't prepared. They think that these, like you said, these jobs are going to protect them, but we're going to get into the economy here in a little bit. What's next on our agenda? Oh, Albert, did you know that the pandemic is over? Cheers.
Who said that?
Oh, a bunch of news organizations. Let me pull up the article. Pandemic's over, bro. We can celebrate. This has been a lot of the news that I saw in the last week or so was a bunch of news organizations with stories. What is this? 1 second, I gotta put my goddamn email in. Come on, give me this shit. All right, here we go. All right, browser. Oh, it's too big. We'll make it smaller. So there you go.
What are you trying to get?
You can't see it. I'm just going to read it to you. It was a Washington Post. I got it. It says, "Is it now reasonable to discuss the end of the pandemic? Yes, but with caveats." This is the Washington Post. And I saw a lot of other similar newspapers and news organizations talking about this shit. So we beat the pandemic, Albert. Yay, yay. Even though in India it's fucking going out of control. They got millions and millions of people fucking spreading a virus. It's mutating. People are losing their eyeballs and shit. But it's over. 50% of Americans have been vaccinated. It's over. We're ending
that just sounds so stupid. I almost don't know what to say.
We're ending all the fucking statewide mandates for mask mandates. Those are all going away. You know about that, right?
A little bit. I mean, I've heard about places getting rid of their fucking, like Walmart, I think is about to stop doing their mandate.
Oh yeah, Walmart's getting rid of it. Target, all the stores, you don't have to wear it because now what Dr. Fauci has recommended is that we're just going to go off of the honor system. So he's going to trust Americans.
That's so stupid.
We're going to trust Americans to go, well, I've been vaccinated, so I'm going to take my mask off. But all the crazy fucks out there who think the vaccine microchips your brain or makes you gay or whatever, they can just, pretend that they never, I got the vaccine and just walk around or whatever. The honor system. How could that get fucked up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speaking of, there's a new conspiracy out there, Albert. I think I told you about this. I don't know. But there's a new conspiracy amongst idiots that if you get the vaccine, you can actually shed it to other people. Meaning if you get the coronavirus vaccine, COVID vaccine, you can give other people whatever the fuck's in the vaccine by being around them. So here's the irony of it. This is what the conspiracy says. They are literally telling their followers to wear masks, right? And to social distance because they don't want people to go around people who have had the vaccine to get the vaccine from them. So the people the whole time who haven't been wearing masks and wanting to social distance are now doing it to avoid the people who have gotten the vaccine. It's the craziest fucking shit I've ever heard. And it's like
that's not a very good conspiracy theory, by the way. That's kind of that's a lame ass one.
It is a legit conspiracy theory, and it's being spread around the fucking internet, and there are actual like schools and shit that are not allowing.
Lame, like that. Who gives a fuck about that shit?
Well, it's completely ridiculous. For one, it's not a live. None of the vaccines are live, so you can't catch a vaccine from somebody. Like the only vaccine that I know of that's similar to that is like the chickenpox vaccine, right? In which if you get like an open wound from the sore and someone touches it or whatever, you can spread it that way. But that's not how flu vaccines work or any of that shit works. None of that shit's live vaccines. You can't give somebody the vaccine.
That's just a stupid thing though. That's just a dumb thing to worry about in general. Who gives a fuck about catching the vaccine? Who gives a fuck about that?
Well, first of all, it's bullshit. It can't. It's impossible.
Yeah. But that almost doesn't even make any sense.
Well,
I know it's real. I know you got it from a real source. I'm just saying that.
Well, yeah, of course
that doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Of course it doesn't make any sense, but I'm going to play this little video because I think it's hilarious. Because now, after us trying for a year to get conservatives and these crazy fucking QAnon people to wear masks and social distance, now they're doing it, but they're doing it for these reasons. So here's a little funny video this guy did about it. You should be able to hear this.
Concerned about being exposed to those who have chosen to be vaccinated? Are you worried about harmful effects caused by vaccine shedding by those who are vaccinated and in close proximity to you and your loved ones? Don't worry. Simply follow these easy guidelines. Wear a mask. Stay socially distant. 6 feet should do it. Avoid large gatherings, like anti-lockdown protests, because you never know if the person beside you is a carrier. And finally, wash your hands frequently. That's right, including every time after you've gone to the bathroom. I know, desperate times. Do your best to keep you and your loved ones safe from vaccine shedding by following these simple guidelines. Remember, it's not forever. Do your part. This stuff writes itself.
Too good. So yeah, now
I couldn't hear that. By the way,
hear shit? I don't know why your camera's all. Everything's all fucked up. But anyway, we finally found a way to get these crazy conspiracy nuts to wear masks and social distance is the gist, and that's that we fucking had to just feed them enough crazy conspiracies that they started doing it. So, the irony. All right, what's going on? We got some comments coming in. Oh, just more bullshit about you. That people hate you, Albert. And
because I don't have because I've been on unemployment this whole time.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, John commented that it's an editorial. It is, John, but I've actually seen several reports by news organizations trying to be like, the pandemic's over, take the mask off. And what's crazy is the largest nurse union in the United States came out and said that this is fucking stupid. I mean, think about it. Only 50% of adults, right, are vaccinated. Yeah. Most children are not vaccinated at all yet. So only 50% of adults are vaccinated. That's not enough to reach herd immunity. We've known that the whole goddamn time. So it's stupid that we're taking the mask off, going to the grocery store or fucking riding in Ubers or whatever the fuck. That's
you already know why they're doing this, because they want people to go out and shop and go to work,
right?
And go back to the way it used to be, which was just they want everyone to go back to their fucking lives.
Well,
that were shitty.
I think that they're doing it, Albert, actually, because they want to stress a message, which is that if you get the vaccine, you can return to normal life, right? I think that's the angle that they're taking. And while I agree,
why would they want you to do that though?
But why? Well, because they're trying to get these people who won't take the vaccine to go and get the vaccine, to go, hey, if I just get the vaccine, I can go about my normal life again. I don't have to wear these masks that are gay or whatever. They hurt my freedom, so I'll just get the vaccine. And that argument's never going to work, because that percent of the population, that 30% that bought into all the conspiracy bullshit and QAnon and all that crap, they're never going to...
So wait, hold on, Jonathan. You're saying that they're doing this to get people to get vaccinated?
I think that's my theory. That's my theory, is that they're doing this as an incentive to say you can return to normal life if you just get the vaccine. See, the vaccine works, right?
Okay. Then wouldn't that be a good thing then?
Well, it is, except the honor system is never going to work. And I don't think you're going to be able to pressure any of these people, that 30% who believe in the conspiracies, to get a fucking vaccine. I don't think there's a damn thing you can do. And that's the next part I want to go into. And that is what's called COVID incentives, right? So there's a lot of different programs people have been trying to get people to get vaccines. Some of these have been successful. You sent me the thing about Mayor de Blasio in New York City, where they were giving out, if you showed up with your vaccine card, right, to Shake Shack, that you got like free French fries, right? And there's actually a lot of companies that have been adopting this strategy. Show up with your vaccine card and, hey, look, we'll give you some free shit. Get vaccinated, get some free shit. You know what I mean? And I actually think that's a good idea, right?
Well, just so you know, I don't think it's a good idea, because what happened when that dude made that video, it made getting the vaccine look real stupid, and it made people think that there was something fishy going on. I'm just telling you what I was hearing on the internet.
You saw that on TikTok. Now, second of all,
that's the internet, bro, Jonathan. That's the fucking internet, dude.
TikTok is
keep going.
But TikTok is the butthole of the internet. It's
Look up how
basically
many people 4chan.
Are on TikTok.
It's 600
for fucking
something million people, Jonathan. So it's the internet. It's people, just like you and me.
But here's the point. Just let's think rationally about this, Albert. If you set a precedent that if you bring in your vaccine card, right? And I'm telling you, there's a lot of companies that have done this. There's another place that was a brewery that said, come in with your vaccine card, right? Show us it, and we'll give you a free beer. And guess what? People were going in and doing that. If you incentivize people and say, hey, look, we're going to reward you for doing the right thing by giving you some free shit, people are going to do it. In fact, Ohio, right? Well, first of all, one of the places that started doing this, well, let's do Ohio first. Ohio is initiating a lottery, right? Where they're going to give away $5 million. So, and it's going to be $1 million to 5 different people who get the vaccine in a lottery, right? And once they started that program, their numbers had been going down consistently every week. And as soon as they started that program, they saw the numbers go up to 6% above where they were before they dropped off. So it is working. It is incentivizing people. I think it's incentivizing the people who are too lazy to go get the vaccine, right? But it's never going to incentivize the people who think that it's going to microchip you or make your wife infertile or turn you gay. Those people are just too far gone, right? But the people who are just too lazy to go, they'll go, oh, well, I'll go get a vaccine if I get a free beer and I get entered into a lottery, or like West Virginia was giving people $100 saving bond. You know what I mean? Every person that went and got it. So it does work. The numbers show that that does work. What do you think?
Well, whether it works or not, my personal opinion that sounds stupid as fuck. So, because I can tell you, I got vaccinated, and when I saw that dude trying to tell people, and if you look at his face, it looks like he wants to laugh the whole time. It makes it look like a joke. It makes the vaccine look like a joke.
Well, I agree. You should just go get it. But the thing is that people are fucking dumb and lazy, Albert, and any little thing you can do to get them to go get it, it's gonna help, because it's and look, if there was data showing that it doesn't help, that's one thing. The data all points that it does actually help. It does incentivize people who are hesitant, right, to go out and get the vaccine.
Well, there you go. Then it's good.
Yeah, and I agree that it is good. Now, I think the lottery's fucking dumb, but there's another thing that they did where they were giving out college tuition. I think that was
like that beer thing. That sounds retarded as fuck. I mean, I believe that it's a real thing.
No, but I think
it sounds dumb as shit.
But see, I think that's the best way to do it. I think if we developed a system, right? I mean, imagine how cool that would be, Albert. You would be all over. I know you'd be all over that shit. If like Red Lobster and all these companies around town were like, "Hey, would you like a free appetizer with your meal? Just show up with your vaccine card."
No, I'm not a weirdo. Look, I'll tell you this right now. My personal opinion is, if you go get the vaccination because you're going to get something for free, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. It's my opinion.
But
I got vaccinated because I felt like I had to do it to be healthy.
No,
that's it.
That's
and it's
not
free.
That's
it's
not,
Jonathan, it's already fucking free.
Right, but that's not what you said. That's not what you said on air. We can, if I had the capability, I'd pull up the tape right now, but I don't.
People can pull it up. The thing is, I could change my mind about something. I'm just saying that.
No, but
the vaccination's free.
Well, you can't change the mind about what you said in the past. You told me on this show you got the vaccine because you didn't want to look like an ignorant Trump motherfucker. And you were afraid.
Also, I got the vaccine. No, I got the vaccine for a few reasons. I got the vaccine for that. I got the vaccine because I'll tell you why. And I made a TikTok about this, by the way, a month ago, or when I got the vaccine. I made a TikTok trying to joke about the fact that I basically got it because everyone I knew was getting it. That's it.
Right.
I got it because everyone I knew was getting it, and I didn't want to feel like a shithead.
And you said you got peer pressured into it. That's what you said.
Yeah,
and it had nothing to do about being healthy or whatever.
And it wasn't just you. It was Eddie. It was everyone on the internet. But I'm comedians I'm friends with. People that I think are fucking retarded. They were getting the fucking vaccine. So the way I was looking at it was like, you know what? I got to get it too because I got to fucking do it. So, but the point that I'm making is that that alone is, I admit, that's a stupid reason to get it. And I got it for that. But what's even dumber is to tell me there's people out there that are legitimately going to get vaccinated because they're getting a beer or a burger or whatever the fuck it is. That's so stupid.
It's just an incentive.
I can't even explain it.
Yes, it is, but it's just an incentive, Albert, to not be lazy. It's like if you said, "Hey, you should go vote," but you go, "Well, I don't want to fucking go down there." And they go, "Well, hey, we'll make an app so you can vote from home so you don't have to get your fat ass off the couch." A lot of more people would vote doing that, right? It's just a way to make. It's just a way to placate lazy people, bro.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, I was nervous, and I don't blame people for being nervous about getting vaccinated because for a lot of people who are paranoid about things, getting a vaccination, it doesn't even matter what the government says. You know how many people don't trust the government nowadays? I'm one of them.
Well,
So for the government to tell me get the vaccination, you gotta understand how someone could be like, well, wait a minute, do I want to? Because I don't like you guys. You guys fuck me over all the time. The government, all those people you gotta remember, half the time we're on this show, dude, we're talking about governments fucking people over. That's what we do all the time. Now the government's saying you need to get the vaccine that's good for you. You gotta understand how someone could be like, I don't trust you.
No, I totally get it. But here's the point. It's not really about so much the government as it's about doctors and scientists. Now, of course, they have their own kind of motives, right? Especially like pharmaceutical companies. They want to make money. There's no question about that kind of shit, right? Which is why I have been advocating and on this show and in life nonstop that we need to basically get rid of all these patents and waivers to make the intellectual property free, so they can't make money off of this shit, because it was developed by our tax dollars in the first place, and it's gonna stopping the pandemic is an issue that benefits the entire globe, right? But we got to move on to the next topic. I agree with you. Next topic is going to be, Albert. Let's see. Israel and Palestine. Big fucking story all around the world. It's all over fucking TV and the news right now. I don't know if you heard.
It's actually a huge fucking. It's a big deal what's going on over there.
Well, it's huge because it's the biggest conflict that they've had in what a couple of decades.
Yeah,
and a lot of civilians are getting killed in these Israeli bombings, and you know the Israeli army has committed some crazy war crimes. They bombed a 13-story building that housed media outlets. I mean, that's straight up war crime right there. You're not allowed to do that. You can't just give notice to them and then do that like that's okay. You know what I mean?
It's awful. It's horrible. I mean, god damn, man.
Well, and then they you know, in Israel they refer to this as mowing the grass. Did you not know that? This is just the periodic mowing the grass. It's so dehumanizing.
It's awful, man.
It's crazy. It's an apartheid. It's ethnic cleansing. It's all those fucked up things. And you know, there's about 2 million Palestinians living there between Gaza, the West Bank, and in East Jerusalem. There's about 350,000 Palestinians living in East Jerusalem there, and yeah, it's fucked. It's considered by the world to be, you know, like the West Bank and Gaza, the largest open air prison in the entire world. They're all second-class citizens. They're all living under like apartheid, Jim Crow shit. They're not allowed to fish. They're not allowed to have an airport. They're not allowed to do jack shit. You know what I mean? They really have no hope. And to me, the irony is that it's the state of Israel doing this to people when about 100 years ago, you know what I mean? This happened to them. So hypocritical.
I've seen a lot of footage on explaining like why this is happening in the history, and all I can say is like this shit needs to end, and it's appalling, man, that we're in 2021 and we still have countries that are wanting to bomb children and people for fucking land and bullshit like that. It's just like, can't y'all just fucking be what's so bad about waking up in the morning and just getting through the day like we all fucking do? Why do you have to be like, nah, we need all that land and we're gonna kill everyone? Like, but
it's not even that much land. It's if you look at the history, and maybe when we do the full show again, we have more time and more segments, we'll go into detail about this, but it's not even that much land, bro, that we're talking about. What it is they're just trying to cleanse. It's ethnic cleansing. They're just trying to get rid of the Palestinians and create a complete ethno-state for the Jews. And if anybody else were to do that, you know what I mean? If we in America were to do that and say we're going to get rid of all the Muslims and the Jews or whatever, the world would freak the fuck out. You know what I mean? And because that's what it is. It's the same thing that like Germany and all them trying to do. It's creating an ethno-state. The same thing. It's completely insane. And the lack of humanity. I mean, Israel was on Twitter posting rocket emojis, for fuck's sake. Right? And then it comes to us as an Americans, like how have we enabled this, right? I mean, Biden came out and said that Israel has a right to defend itself. Not that everybody has a right to defend themselves, but Israel has a right to defend themselves. And then after like a lot of criticism, you know, he's like, well, I call for a ceasefire, right? But what did we just pass? We just passed weapon sales of $750 million of weapons to Israel after his so-called ceasefire. So it's fucked up.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And I'm going to play this little video real quick. You won't be able to see it, Albert, but here's a video. Biden was recently at this Ford facility where he was test driving this new electric F-150, which legitimately looks pretty badass. But what's crazy is the town where they had this factory, is the largest population of Arab Americans in the United States, right? So while all this conflict is going on, here Biden goes to the largest community of Arab Americans in the United States and doesn't talk to them whatsoever or talk about it. And in fact, in this video, there's a question a journalist asked, but we'll get in that in just a second. I'll play this video.
Mr. President,
This sucker's quick.
how's it drive?
Would you buy
one of these?
I would.
How does it feel to be behind the wheel, sir?
It feels great. I tell you what, these electric vehicles. Now, I don't know if anybody has a stopwatch, but I think if we're going 0 to 60 in about 4.3. 4.4?
Right.
4 flat?
Well, we haven't released it, President.
I should be quiet.
Mr. President, how fast were you going?
Okay, I'm just going to step on it. I'll come off at 80 miles an hour. You'll see what it is, okay? You ready?
Mr. President, can I ask you a quick question on Israel before you drive
No,
away?
you can't. Not unless you get in front of the car as I step on it. I'm only teasing. Okay, here we go. You ready?
See it, sir.
You ready?
All right, so you can't see because we have all the problems. I'm going to explain to you with the video. If you haven't seen it, have you not seen the video of Biden driving the truck yet?
I have seen that.
Okay, so whatever. It's a cool truck or whatever. But yeah, he goes to this town. It's the largest population of Arab Americans. A journalist asked him, "Sir, can we please ask you a question about Israel and Palestine?" And here's Biden's response. I'm going to paraphrase, but he says "No, you can't. Not unless you want to get in front of this car as I step on the gas." So it's a joke to talk about killing press over a question that you don't want to answer because you have a bad public opinion about it? I mean, imagine if Trump had said that shit, bro.
Yeah.
It's insane. And then
in the words of George Carlin, and I'm not trying to offend anybody with this, y'all voted for him.
Well, there is a thing about the lesser of two evils that we've gone into on the show many a times about. But the thing is that he went later into to have a speech or whatever at a function, and Rashida Tlaib had talked to him apparently about calling for the ceasefire and doing an immediate halt to all aid to Israel, right? As a action of the American government to say, hey, we got to have a ceasefire, right? And during this meeting, he just kept calling her like Rashid. He couldn't get her name right. It's just embarrassing, dude. And yeah, it's not surprising to me one bit. I mean, all of this kind of shit doesn't surprise me about Joe Biden whatsoever. But yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's a fucking old, fucker, and we have Biden, and I made a whole sketch about this. We have Biden because Trump was such a fucking horrible person. But that doesn't make Biden a great guy either.
Well, no, it's just
and that's what's so funny about all this.
Yeah, it's just the lesser of two evils argument. And but even Bernie Sanders, who I was an advocate for, and voted for it twice, and even he actually had a terrible position, like 7 years ago on this, and he has come around, right, to seeing what a, that Israel is the real aggressor here and the occupier, and what really is changing people's mind, I think, is that people are getting to see this shit on like TikTok and cell phone footage on YouTube and shit. They're getting to see grenades thrown into fucking mosque with babies, women carrying babies.
I saw that
and
shit on TikTok. It was fucked up, man.
And I think that's what's
So
changing
fucked up.
people's minds, because, but they think of before that the Hamas is just the terrorists, but when they see a woman carrying a baby in a fucking religious mosque get grenaded, right? It's gonna fucking change your mind. And a lot of politicians have been changing their mind. There was a 10-year-old girl whose video, I don't know if you saw her video, about why
I think I know what you're talking about.
why should she go to school? Why should she do anything? Why should she try? She can't do anything, and it went viral. But it was very powerful, and I think the thing is that people got to realize that who the aggressor is here. Speaking of the potential of 10-year-olds to do amazing things or whatever, or people, or anybody, any kind of any ethnicity or immigrant or whatever, do anything. I'm going to show you. You can't see this, but a 10-year-old refugee, once homeless, is now the national chess master. Did you know that?
No.
This is a crazy good story. A good after all the bullshit, here's a good feel good story. A 10-year-old boy won the title of national chess master on May 1st. I cannot pronounce his name, so I won't try, but he goes by Tanny. The win makes him the 28th youngest person in the country to achieve that high ranking per the U.S. Chess Federation. Yeah. A homeless immigrant refugee living in a shelter, who once lived in a shelter, is now the chess master.
And that's that's a positive of America, that what it offers, like we have stories like that.
Right.
So
let's see if there's any comments here worth reading. Most of this is going to be fuck Albert.
is it just all is that just all Clark?
There's more Clarks now. I feel like there's 3 or 4 different Clarks. Oh, now they're calling you Fat Albert. Wait, was that already with that? Wasn't that guy's? Wasn't there already a Fat Albert? I don't remember what that show was.
Fat Albert's a cartoon.
Oh yeah. That was like what's his name?
That was Bill Cosby's cartoon.
Bill Cosby, yeah. That was way before my fucking time, man. All right, we got a few more topics today. Last week there was the big gas crisis, which was fucking nuts. And when I say big gas crisis, there was a pipeline company in the southeast that was given like a ransomware hack, Colonial Pipeline, and it took them, I think, about 4 days or whatever to restore service. So, a couple days. But people freaked the fuck out, and gas sales skyrocketed because everybody was started hoarding gas, kind of like toilet paper, if you remember, right? But we saw some of the dumbest shit happen. I mean, did you see that? You saw the memes, right, and the post of people like putting gas in fucking trash bags and grocery sacks and fucking
I saw that.
Laundry baskets, for fuck's sake. I mean, just the most crackhead crap I've ever seen. And it was all bullshit panic buying. I mean, the panic buying is what caused the gas shortage, not even the disruption in service. That fucked things up a little bit, but it was really the panic buying, because what they noticed was that the percentages of how sales went up, right, is how shit really got fucked. It was like 30-something% was just above normal sales. So what do you think about all that shit where people freak out and do shit like that? Because it just fucks. the supply and demand is not established to meet that in the best of times, especially when you have a fucking like situation like they were in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that shit's. I mean, that's gonna happen. You're always gonna have some paranoid, and ain't no one more paranoid than Southerners about everything, about the end of the world, about people taking their guns or whatever the fuck it may be, you know, or gay people. You know, they're scared of gay people. You know, so of course, you know, you tell a Southerner, hey, you know, their big ass fucking truck that they love, that they're, you know, might get dismantled because of the gas shit. They're gonna go and fucking go nuts and be a bunch of babies and go fucking stock up on gas like a idiot. And
but in a trash bag, you can't even. It's just gonna, eat through
bag.
it. It's just gonna fucking. It can't even store.
But you know what's funny about it is that all these people, they have jobs to go to. They got to go drive to their job the next morning.
Right.
They're probably paranoid about not making it because they don't got no gas. Whereas someone like me, living off the government,
right.
I don't got to do any of that shit. I'm chilling, bro. I'm fucking drinking a beer.
That's right. You ain't gotta.
I'll worry about gas later. Y'all worry about the gas and act like a bunch of idiots. Have fun.
This is a valid point. Albert does not have to worry about that. And I don't worry about that shit either way. Because if I can't go to work because there's a fucking gas shortage, I'm just not going to work, bro. I'm not gonna. What am I gonna do? What the fuck am I gonna do?
Well, exactly. And you know what? You're a smart man to put yourself in a position like I have where we don't have to worry about that bullshit. And I tell people all the time, I said, number one dumbest thing that people make in this fucking world is that, and Southerners are the best at this. They turn fucking 19. They go get a job at a fucking, you know, coal mine or oil, drilling oil, where the fuck it may be, welding. These country kids, and I know them. I know kids like this. They go and buy a fucking house. Right. They go have 4 kids and go buy a house. They're not even 30 yet.
And that house.
And that's why they get hooked into that fucking shithole lifestyle.
Right.
Where their job
right.
is their everything. If they don't got that job the next day, they're fucked. Well, guess what?
Yeah,
that's your decisions.
Right.
Those are y'all's decisions, bro. They're not mine. Y'all do that dumb shit.
He's talking sense.
I don't have to go do that shit. I'm not a slave to some fucking welding company or some dumb shit like that. I'm chilling, bro. I'm doing podcasts.
And all of that.
I'm thinking ahead.
And all that shit's way, way, way overpriced in the first place. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
It's a day will come when that shit is gonna fucking take a big crash, and you know everyone thinks that property's always fucking safe. Go look at the fucking Grapes of Wrath. Go read that shit. When the government and banks came and took everybody's shit, that shit can happen anywhere. People think America is like, oh, it's the 21st century. That could never happen. They can come take your shit. They don't care that you lost your job. They don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck about you, man. Clark, working your ass off. Your business, your government. They don't give a fuck about you.
They don't give a fuck
all
about
you idiots out there slaving at your job for that fucking moolah so you can go on a fucking vacation every year. You're a fucking idiot. You're slaving for a fucking vacation once a year.
Well,
I don't give a fuck about no vacation. I vacation every day, bro. Every day.
Well, shit. You know, what's really funny to me is that you know how those people were able to pay, like, do the ransomware stuff? Is they were getting paid in Bitcoin. And you know, I've talked about this on this show. I'm no fan of it. I think it's complete bullshit. I think Bitcoin is just a dumb fucking thing that criminals use in the first place. That's where, you know, it was always used for shady shit online, for drug dealers and murderers and all the fucking rapists and shit to pay each other assassins, right? It's just criminal bullshit. Yeah. But that's what the hackers use too. And so what's interesting to me is that I don't understand why the federal government just doesn't fucking shut it down, because it enables hackers to do the shit that they fucking do, right? Because that's what they do. They go, because you can't just go, oh, I'm gonna fucking take over the Colonial Pipeline and the ransom. You're gonna pay me in cash. You can't do that. Where are you gonna sit? You're gonna mail it to somebody? You're gonna fucking have a little drop somewhere? They're gonna get your ass. They have to use the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to do it all, which is another reason why it's just totally illegitimate and should be shut down. And I was hoping we would have a guest on today to talk about it, but we can't because we fucked up and weren't able to go live yesterday, so maybe next week we can. But it's all just a goddamn, all that Bitcoin shit is just a giant scam in itself. We only got a couple more topics today. Here's a good story. So speaking of Ponzi schemes and scams and how all this shit is about to come to an end, and all the people that have been having it good, not doing anything, are about to get fucked. There's a woman who was recently an appointee of the Biden administration who passed bipartisan approval for her appointment. Lena Khan, and she's a very interesting person. Let me pull this article up. So first of all, she is really anti-monopoly and like anti-tech and monopolies and anti-fake bullshit, anti-like crypto, anti-vaccine pharmacy waivers, and all this shit. And now she has just gotten... Oh, wait. That's not right. Here we go. She has just gotten appointed. So let me pull this up so we can look at it. See what this article says. So, Senate Commerce Committee advances Biden's FTC nominee, Lena Khan. The Senate Commerce Committee on Wednesday advanced President Biden's nominee. 4 Republicans voted against pushing forward her nomination, signaling further indication of bipartisan support for revamping antitrust laws and enforcement. But a lot of Republicans did vote for it, which is very interesting. I think she's going to come in and fuck over a lot of these big companies, man, like Amazon, Google, Walmart, just these straight monopolies that have been fucking over the American worker hard, right, for the last 10, 20 years or so. And it needs to happen.
I don't think I've ever heard of that lady. I might have and forgot, but
she's actually quite young.
She sounds cool.
She's only like 35, I think. She's in her 30s. She's actually quite young, but she's one of the most well-known voices, antitrust voices out there, scholar. It says, Khan is an influential antitrust scholar known for her Amazon's Antitrust Paradox paper, which she wrote as a student at Yale. She also served as an aide to the House Judiciary Antitrust Subcommittee investigation into the market power of the biggest tech companies. Khan will be joining the FTC at a critical time. The agency is engaged in a lawsuit against Facebook, along with attorney generals across the country suing social media giant over allegations of anti-competitive accusations. Accusations? I can't. I'm drunk. Anyway, we'll see what the fuck happens. I think it's gonna be crazy though.
Hey, and by the way, I was when I was ranting earlier, I was talking about Southerners with blue collar stereotypical type jobs. I have a funny feeling Clark and maybe a few more people that are watching this show. I have a funny feeling you guys work with computers. You work with computers. You sit on your ass every day and you're on a little computer screen. You do some bullshit with computers. You learn coding or some shit. Fuck all that. I don't want to learn no goddamn code. That shit's boring. I'd rather write a comedy sketch than make fucking code for some fucking company. By the way, all those coding jobs, on the computer jobs, everyone I know that's ever done the jobs like that, they're on Facebook half the day. They're on Facebook.
Oh well, yeah. Most of those white collar jobs are
those
white collar jobs are all bullshit. Yeah.
Those people, at least blue collar jobs, are contributing something to society in some form or fashion. But if you work on computers, if you're some computer guy, you don't do shit for nobody. You're useless. At least I'm trying to entertain people.
Hey, I think you're pretty goddamn entertaining.
Hey, Jonathan, I feel the same way about you, brother.
So, we got, I think, like maybe 2 more stories left for you guys. There's some comments. It's more shit. Apparently, one guy's black, and you're a racist for saying that you're a wage slave. Just so you know, Frank, a wage slave is not saying that you're, like, an actual slave. It's a pretty common term. I can send you some links. You should probably look at the some marks. It's been around for.
That's when you know you're desperate. That's when you know you're desperate to try to call me something like, "Oh, I'm racist because I said slave."
Let's see. We got a couple more things we're gonna hit on before we get going. Oh, this is all right. So I got some good, just some good shit to leave on a high note today, and then we'll save more bad shit for next week. But did you know that was that guy on American Idol? Speaking of racist, who got busted, like making Snapchat videos with a guy in a Ku Klux Klan outfit. You saw that, right?
Oh yeah.
So let's see. Caleb Kennedy, a contestant on American Idol, and he was like the pejorative favorite to win. I'll pull this up for you guys because he totally looks like a fucking redneck. Here he is in a Canadian tuxedo with a mullet, singing a song. And it's a 16-year-old contestant, Caleb Kennedy, belted an original song dedicated to his mother. When the song ended, judges Luke Bryan, Lionel Richie, Katy Perry were on their feet in applause. "You, my friend, are a true anomaly," Bryan said in his critique, adding that Kennedy's song sounded like a wise man wrote it. Anyway, they love this guy. He looked like he was going to be a great chance to win American Idol. And then apparently, he fucking posted a Snapchat video of him and a guy wearing like Ku Klux Klan shit. I mean, why the fuck would you? You're on national TV, bro. What the fuck are you thinking?
Because he was probably drunk. I bet he was drunk. Number one. And number two, he's an idiot. Now, here's the thing about this guy and anyone on American Idol, by the way. If you're on American Idol, just so everyone knows, that doesn't mean you're fucking smart. It just means that you can sing. And let me just say something. Millions of human beings can sing good. So this is just some kid that's lucky enough to have the right look, get his ass on American Idol. It doesn't mean he's not fucking retarded.
Well, I hate when you use that word, but I get what you're saying. I think that...
Okay, well, I shouldn't say that. You're right. I shouldn't use that word.
But here's the deal.
Doesn't mean you're not a fucking idiot.
I think that this is what I actually thought. And we've actually talked about this before. You and I have had this personal conversation. I don't know if on the show or whatever. But remember when we said that when country singers in particular do racist shit, that their sales go up?
Yep.
And so I wondered if this actually increases this kid's stock in that community, because people go, hell yeah, he's hanging out with a goddamn Klans guy. Let's get his next record. You know what I mean? Now he's 16, he doesn't have any records yet, but you know what I mean? I wonder if that's not just exactly how that shit works out for him.
Well, what's so funny about country music is that I have a huge respect for country music. The thing about country music is, though, when you listen to it, how the fuck do I know that the guy I'm listening to isn't a real racist? Like, for real. Like, I don't know. And that makes country music weird.
It's just weird because they're tethered together in a way. And people who say that they're not are just turning a blind eye because they don't want to. You know what I mean? I don't think any genre of music is racist. A genre of music cannot be racist. That's just impossible, right?
Yeah.
But culture dictates more. And what we've seen, and I forget the guy's name, but there was that guy who, you remember what I'm talking about? He was a country singer who did some racist shit, and then his record sales shot up. Remember?
Yeah, I forgot who it was, but yeah.
But anyway, I was just wondering if there would be any correlation on there. Let's see, we got some more comments coming in here. People telling you to kill yourself. More shit about you being a racist. Someone says you're racist against jobs. That's kind of funny. I don't... or prejudiced against jobs. I don't know. Well, I don't know what link they're looking for. Someone said, give me the link. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. All right, we got one last article here for you guys before we go. Sorry that we didn't make the show yesterday, but you guys all seem to tune in. You guys have hate radar for Albert. So, last story of the day is going to be this fucking crazy story out of Italy. and it's about this boar attack. So apparently, like wild boar are just an issue like everywhere, but apparently in Italy they're so bad that they're just going to like supermarkets and shit and fucking shit up. So let's play this video.
Anche se no come si... Non ci posso credere.
There's a whole, Albert, I'm gonna explain to you what's going
No,
on.
povera
There's a
signora.
whole family of
No,
boar,
qualcuno
like
dà
boar
del
babies,
denaro,
boar
no?
mama, boar daddy, little babies just attacking a
Oddio
woman
Dio,
for her
ecco, sono
groceries.
contenti.
She's like throwing her groceries.
Volevo proprio questo. E perciò loro vengono. Guarda lì, non ci credo.
Boar Gang 2021, Boar Gang. So anyway, that's a funny story to leave on. I don't really know what much to say about that except that goddamn boars suck and Boar Gang. Anything you got, Albert?
No.
Oh, we got a great show on Sunday. Why don't you tell them about that?
Guys, every Sunday at 8 o'clock p.m., we go on our Instagram, Booze and News, and we do interviews. Booze and News interviews where we interview a guest. We ask them questions. Some of the questions are silly. Some of them are serious. You can join in on the live. It's live. Y'all could call me whatever you want because you're mad that you're at a job that you hate and you hate your life. And you're mad that I'm chilling with my beer, which is literally all I'm doing. And y'all could come on and do whatever you want because you're helping out the show. I hope y'all know that. You're helping the show.
It's true.
I want y'all to come.
Yeah. That's true. Even if they're too dumb to know that, it's definitely true. I don't even know what the fuck link they keep asking for. They're like, give me the link for what? For what? You're like, the link. Okay, cool. Anyway.
What's the link y'all are looking for? What?
I don't know what fucking link he wants. So, anyway, this has been the Booze and News, and we'll be back next week, 8 p.m. on Wednesday, now that we're starting to get shit figured out, and we'll fix some of the technical difficulties we had, and Sunday, 8 p.m. on Instagram TV with Dan Hornstein, good local comic. Check that shit out. Follow him. And, yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Later. Cheers.
Peace.